Here is a photo of my chest barely knowing what a gym is, and here is a picture of my chest now, being one of the biggest compliments I receive. And a big reason I get accused of being a fake natural is because of how I have developed my chest. And I'm gonna run you through the simplest and easiest way you can grow your chest, and how I literally think anyone can do this as well, not just myself. So when you think of the best bodybuilder to ever live, the first person that usually comes to mind is Arnold. And then the next thing that you think of that stood Arnold out to any other bodybuilder was his enormous chest. So it's really not a body part that you want to neglect if you're trying to get that Ben Affleck as Batman sort of look. Now, growing your chest is not as hard as you probably think. Now, I'm not about to tell you that you need to work 4 different exercises of chest, doing 30 to 40 sets a week, drop setting every single set, targeting the 11,000 different fibers of your chest. That's actually not how I trained whatsoever. Believe it or not, all I train to grow my chest is barbell bench and barbell incline, and that is it. And I'm not saying in any stance that this is how you should train as well. A lot of you guys watching this probably aren't able to train like this due to like shoulder complications or just genuinely not enjoying these exercises. I personally focus more time on progressively overloading and continuously torturing and forcing my chest to grow on exercises I loved doing, and keeping me continuously motivated to push every week to get stronger. So to add on to how I train with low volume and high intensity, one thing to think about with bench press is that it is a compound movement. So it is one of those exercises similar to deadlifts and similar to squats that you can go quite heavy with and actually build muscle doing low reps and very high intensity training. And this is also something that I convert onto incline press and even shoulder press as well. And the reps and set ranges I'm talking about is I really don't go past 6 reps. If I'm doing heavy working sets, it's not past 6 reps. Now, the way I've been recently training in the past 2 years is that I will do 2 heavy sets and then 1 volume set. So I will incorporate 1 set where I do go to about 8 reps. But the other 2 sets that I do could quite literally be 3, maybe 4 reps, but usually 3 reps. And that's to failure every single set. And also, just to give a bit of insight to what my bench is, so like my 1 rep max, I most recently did 160 kilos for 2 reps. I did attempt 170 kilos and got quite close. My goal was to try and get to full plate bench, which is 180 kilos. But me currently being on a cut, that was sort of when I was a little bit heavier. I am probably only doing 160 for 1 rep at the moment. And my body weight currently is about 82 kilos. So almost a 2 times body weight bench press, which is quite impressive in my opinion. And not to gas myself up at all or in any aspect, I'm just quite literally telling you how this sort of training can increase your strength and how I literally think anyone can do this as well, not just myself. And one thing I do want to touch on and preach about a lot is using good form and utilizing some sort of minor arch with benching, and leg drive as well can help you have quite a strong bench. I think when I first started out benching, my form wasn't fantastic. My back was like flat on the bench and my legs weren't really tucked back. I wasn't using as much leg drive as I could have been. As soon as I incorporated a better form of benching, I dropped back in strength for about 2 to 3 weeks. But for the long run, this benefited me so much with my bench press over the years later that I continuously started benching with this form. I want to really highly motivate you to watch one of Jeff Nippard's videos on how to bench with a slight arch and utilizing your leg drive, because this helped me a lot. And you will notice that you will be a little bit weaker when you're incorporating this form of benching, but trust me, it's worth it in the long run. Another thing that helped me with my bench was bulking. So I got to, from not even doing 60 kilo bench to 140 kilos for 1 rep in 10 months of training. And what helped me do this as well was the fact that I was continuously in a surplus and continuously pushing myself every single week to get up to that lifelong goal of mine. And so I'll share with you a photo of what I looked like when I was bulking. Like I said, if you're quite a light person, I would definitely encourage you, if you're trying to put on a good amount of size, I wouldn't say that staying lean and just trying to lose fat and gain strength and gain muscle is the fastest approach to trying to put on muscle. I would say doing a good bulk. I didn't quite necessarily do a very clean bulk, but I would highly encourage you to do a clean bulk to try and put on size and make sure you're always continuously gaining strength. I was gaining strength in my bench, and I'm talking like 1.5 or 2.5 kilos to my bench almost every single week. So you need to be making sure that whilst you're bulking, you're really taking advantage of the fact that you're in a surplus and you are stronger than when you're a lot leaner. Another thing I want to touch on is when you are doing barbell bench, doing the rep range that I do, which is 3 to 5 reps, quite always need a spotter. It is quite unsafe to not have a spotter when you're doing this exercise. It's quite a dangerous exercise to be doing by yourself. Another thing that helped me with my bench was secondary movements to bench. And what I mean by that is getting stronger on incline, getting stronger on triceps, skull crushers in particular, and getting strong on dumbbell shoulder press or barbell shoulder press will help your bench press as well. So these exercises go hand in hand with increasing your bench and just growing your chest in general. I found when I was getting stronger with incline press, this also converted over to getting stronger with bench press as well. Another thing I also want to talk about is what supplements I was taking. So ever since I've started my training, I've always taken creatine. This helps me a lot. There's just so much research behind it. If you don't know much about it, go look it up. It's like one of the most long-term research supplements you can take, and it's so good as a natural to try and boost that extra strength when you're training and put on that extra muscle as well. But other supplements I used to take, and I still kind of do as well, are like vitamin C, zinc, fish oil, magnesium. Magnesium's a big one. But yeah, there's some pointers and tips that I use that really helped me. If you got anything out of this video, thanks so much for watching. Leave a like if this helped you, and put down below some tips and things that you want to share with other people that could help improve someone else's chest growth. But thanks so much for watching. I might make another video doing legs. I've already done one doing arms. But yeah, if you enjoy this sort of content, make sure you subscribe, leave a like, and I'll see you guys in the next one.